Praise your hip hop here again.
It
looks like, yes. We are here on YouTube now.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And if you see the camera shaking, it's not an earthquake, and it's not an earthquake. We had the round table. We have angels here at the round table, excited. And so am I. So they may be clapping, or they may be making a gesture. You may see the camera shake. Not an earthquake, so don't be alarmed yet. There's one coming, but not yet. Not here. So don't be alarmed. Do not be alarmed. Anyway, I think it's safe to say that we're ready.
We're ready.
And we're not late. We're right on time.
Right on time.
You don't have the power or the authority to say that we're late unless you can control time.
That's right.
I'm going with that a little bit tonight. As we always do, reveal more revelations. Loose more seals, brother. Shalom Aleichem again to my people, my own people of Israel.
Alaikum shalom.
Alaikum shalom, Lord. And here we are, again here in Miami, Florida, the United States called America, at the round table, a little small suburb in Miami, Florida, of the United States, that's called Brownsville.
Yes, sir.
And there's the very same suburb called Brownsville where the mighty God arrived in 1979, who was incognito as Moses Israel. And he chose a suburb for a particular reason, according to prophecy. The first part is that his people are brown skin complexion. Some are black. One is brass.
Right.
Like fine brass. But this is the city of Browns people, brown skinned people, Brownsville.
Sure is.
Not Blacksville. We are black, according to the Bible, and skin complexion. And my people at one time were jet black. We're going to go over that in a moment. Before they got mixed with the slave master. They got mixed with slave master, who taught them that they were Negroes. They didn't know they were Negroes. Neither are they Negroes today. But you need was a slave master. Slave masters say they are Negroes, and they're also niggers. He called them niggers. He also called them colored. And that's the only thing he got right. My people are colored. They are colored black and brown. As he remains white. White is not a color, it's a curse. I'm going to prove that again tonight too. Yellow. Which you see, they call them white because when you look at their skin complexion, what you do see is, you see skin with blood. You see blood under clear skin. And anything red under clear skin becomes pink. So in reality, they are pink complexion people. Look at it. I'm not making it up. They're pink. Look at it. They're pink. So they have clear skin, pink complexion. That's called leprosy. Not so much until they are violating the law. They're going to be put out the camp. They will put out the camp. Even with the hair turn yellow. We'll go over that again tonight too. My art wants me to go over that as he did. I'm going to in a few moments. Anyway, I'm greeting my own people of Israel, including Judah and Lavi, with peace. And in Hebrew, is shalom.
Shalom, my Lord.
Notwithstanding, however, I do not greet the other 195 nations of this world with shalom, which again means peace in Hebrew. But instead, I greet those nations with hello. 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 That's both YouTube. Hello. And Facebook. Hello. Hello. Nevertheless, no matter if you're being greeted with shalom or hello, with peace or hell, that is low. I would like to personally welcome all of you and ye to the end gathering. This is the end gathering. Look how they gathered at the end.
Yes.
And they are gathering at the end. E-N-D. That's the E-N-D-G-A-R or G-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-G. Again, E-N-D-G-A-T-H-E-R-I-N-G. The end gathering. As it was promised that they would be gathered from all corners of the world, of the earth. The children of Yod Bavhe. And this is a session that is numbered as 5. Look, we're already at 5. Session is numbered as 5. And for the record, it's only for the record because some people may be confused. Today is the 7th day of the 2nd month of our fresh solar year. 6,023. I don't believe you heard a word I said. You didn't mind what I said. So I'm going to repeat that. This is the 7th day, 7 of the 2nd month of our solar calendar. 6,023. 27. It's also our day of rest.
Yes.
It's not our Sabbath. Our Sabbath is ended.
Yes. It just
at sundown. But this is our day of rest because this is the 7th. Let's go into the 7,000 years. You know, the 7th day we rest. 6,000 years we gave. See? We went over that a little bit last Wednesday. I'm going to go a little bit more this Wednesday. But of course, that is of our solar calendar, 6,023. And this is also known by all nations of the world, those on this side of the Earth's hemisphere, as Wednesday evening, April 15th, 2020. As some of those nations now on the east, which are like 12 hours ahead of us, they're now looking at Thursday morning. As the sun, as the earth is looking at the sun on that part of the earth hemisphere. So that's for the record. This is being recorded. That's why we need to get that in.
yes, sir.
So those who watch this video or recording on Facebook or YouTube, they'll get the correct time on layman's term time and the date. We're going to go over that in a few moments. And again, this week, I repeat what I said last Wednesday night. These days are also the final days of this world, which is their world. And the reason why I made such emphasis just now on the 7th day of the 2nd month is because something else happened thousands of years ago on this day. I'm going to share with you in a moment.
Yes.
And in those days was as it was. In those days, it was Noah. Something happened on the 7th day of the 2nd month during the time of Noah. And that is one of many reasons why I said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be today when the Son of Man returns. And this gospel shall be preached in all the world, all nations. And then shall the end come. So pay close attention. I'm going to reveal that again tonight. I'm going to reveal several things that no one on this planet knew that were left in codex, cryptic, sealed. And you can read as much as you want. You can read it and read it, read it and study it. But you could not see it or figure it out or unseal it, or loose it. You could not do it. No man was found worthy of it. Open the book, want to look at the book.
Only one.
They even have you thinking that there's a book called Yasher, Jesher. You're going to clear that up again tonight. You're going to clear that up. Lying Jews. Anyway, as I said, this is also known as April 15th, 2020. As we said last Wednesday night, this is still the end of the world. It's only, see, last Wednesday was 7 days ago. That means we are 7 days now closer to the end of the world.
Right.
It's going to keep getting closer and closer until the end is here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the end. The end. You like in the movies? They put, you know, when the cowboy riding over the hill and the sun going down, you know, you can see his ass going, you know, the horse. They ride an ass. Some ride an ass. So you see his ass, he's sitting on his ass going, sun going down.
Bye-bye.
And then they put on the screen, the end. Well, this ass is going to come to the end too soon. All you're going to see is an ass in Washington, D.C., and all these people being cast out.
That's it.
And then we're going to write in the sky, the end. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Well, we said that last week and we're saying it again this week. This is the end of their world. And again, the question is, why? A lot of them may want to know why. Why is this the end of the world? Again, the answer is because they were given only 6,000 years to rule their world in care of Cain, the son of Hillel.
Right.
Back then, as I mentioned, I'm going to share with the world tonight, the worlds, that back then, Cain was the son of Hillel. Hillel brought forth Cain back then so that he can preserve his soul in his loins. Right? Because as soon as he spit part of his soul out into the womb of the woman, and she bore Cain, and part of his soul continued on through Cain,
Right.
even as Cain went up north to Nod, and he buried a son named Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
And for thousands of generations, his soul stayed in the loins of Cain, even in the ark.
Mm.
There were two of Cain's people in the ark, his clan, a male and female, not man and woman,
Right.
a male beast and a female beast in the ark, in the hall of the ark of the covenant, because they were unclean.
Mm.
And for you Christians who did not know, the God of the Hebrews did not command Noah to place two of every kind in the ark. That's a two of every kind law that you've been taught in Sunday school.
So true.
If you read your Bible correctly and see it this time, you'll see that the God of the Hebrews, whose name is Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, he commanded Noah to place two of the unclean beasts, male and female, by twos, unclean by twos, and by clean, those that were clean by sevens.
Right.
And here we are on the seventh day of the second month of the second time around,
Wow.
as it was in the days of Noah. But this time I'm not going to put two of the unclean beasts on the Ark of the Covenant. Got to go.
Got to go. Got to.
They got to go. There's no more of that. You had your chance to rule and you blew it. You're so wicked. You think we want to continue to live and dwell on a planet with wicked people?
So
Got to go.
just
Nowhere in history did I read that the heaven of the God of the Hebrews where he lives is wicked.
Nowhere.
That's why he kicked Hillel out, who wanted to start wickedness. Kicked him out. So we're here today to kick the wicked out and to take our planet back
Yes.
and clean it up. Praise the Lord.
praise the Lord.
But back then, Cain was the son of Hillel. Not today. Hillel is the son of Cain. The first shall be last, and the last
shall be
first.
first.
We're going to prove it. Although Hillel is also known today as Lucifer.
Mm.
The name Lucifer, spelled Lucifer in English, is found only once in the entire Bible. A book called Isaiah. In chapter 14, verse 12, we might read that. I think we're going to. It's found only once. That's the King James Version of the Bible. Speaking of Bibles, I'm being reminded now to tell everyone to grab their study tools, grab their Bibles, King James Version. We have a house full. See, we have some obedient children of Yahweh here in the round table tonight in the house.
Praise the Lord.
Break out the chairs. And see, we saying praise Yahweh right in the beginning of a crisis, of a pandemic. And people are dying by the thousands, actually by the billions. They're lying to you. This is a lying, wicked devil. Lying. He's killed them off. He's killed up the Democrats in the Democratic states so he can make his votes of the Republicans much greater. See how wicked he is? Since Ukraine didn't work and Biden, since that didn't work, and he think he was successful with impeachment, he decided to shake hands and exchange signatures with Japan, actually with China. As he go that route now. He even warned America that he's going to do it. During a news conference back in, I believe, December. I believe it was December, November. Even China should investigate Joe Biden. Anyway, I'm going to bust him tonight. I'm going to stitch. But all of those who are around him, they know what he was doing.
Yes.
And those of the Republicans who know what he was doing, they have trouble. They have trouble too. They're in the Bible. I'm going to show you who they are. They're his angels. And the Democratic Party, they know he's doing too. It's a war. Anyway, again, the answer to that question is that their time to rule is over.
That's right.
Cain blew it.
Yeah.
But grab your study tools, your Bible, your concordance. We have a dictionary. I'm going to need you to read something in that dictionary. You're going to need your synonym finder. I'm going to share a synonymous word or two. And dictionary. Make sure dictionary is Strong's Concordance. I'm going to give a few references. Strong's Concordance. And you need something to write with. So I see someone taking notes. I pray that those who are watching this on live stream on Facebook and YouTube, but YouTube is a video, so they can always pause it and take notes. But those who are live with us on live stream on Facebook, take notes just in case we're cut off. By the way, just in case we are cut off, sometimes we are. We're also on our teleconference line. We're going to ask that you call in and have a double monitor going on. Telephone and laptop. If you have a laptop, we use your cellular phone for video to go on Facebook. Write this number down. Call it if you can, if you have more than one device. 831-221-6177. Again, that's 831-221-6177. Dial it just in case we cut off. You can continue to monitor us until it's brought to my attention that we're off and I'll log back on. And we will resume our video. In the meantime, now that you have your study tools, as what I said a few moments ago, Hillel is also known as Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I'm going to bust him. I'm going to snitch. Hillel is also known today in the Bible as Lucifer. Again, it's only found once in the Bible. So someone turn to that King James Version of the Bible, the book called Isaiah chapter 14. So turn to that, please. We're going to get our readers. We have our readers here tonight at the round table. All right, we have our readers,
Yes, sir.
and they're going to read nice and loud. That's Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. Please.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Praise the Lord.
Praise your name.
That's the question. The first, show me, not a question, show me in that verse a question mark. Huh?
Exclamation marks.
There's no question mark there
None.
in the whole verse. But it begins with how. It also has how at the beginning of the next sentence.
Mhm.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Because it's not a question. It is an aftermath. Remember, he was in heaven.
Right.
And he had fallen from heaven
Mhm.
through Cain. He was higher than Cain because he is also Cain's father. But remember, he had fell in the garden because Ab cursed him. Remember, he cursed him.
Yes, he did.
He said, on thy belly,
On his belly.
So good. Sit him out.
that's a fall.
Sloppy.
Son of the morning.
Right.
And see, that answers the second, I mean, not a question, but how art thou cut down to the ground? On thy belly. After I cursed him.
Cut him down to the
Cut him down to the ground. Lower. That means he became lower than Cain. And since he became lower than Cain, then Cain became higher. And that made Cain his father.
Mm.
Which is weaken the nations. Mount removed the wall off of Cain's head during this generation. Remember?
Yes,
And
sir.
although you cannot go by the year that the body came out of the womb, you got to go by the soul.
Right.
Right? So since Mount Ab revealed Satan, he wrote a book, Satan Revealed. But he never revealed Hallel.
No.
Did he?
No, he didn't.
He didn't mention
Hallel.
Said nothing about
He
that.
never mentioned that.
Said nothing about Hallel. Neither did he mention who Hallel is today by his American name. Right? He did not. Now, when you go to Strong's Concordance and look up reference H 1966, okay, 1966,
1966.
then you will find these Hebrew characters from right to left. Hey, Yud, Lamed, Lamed. And together they spell the word Hallel. Hallel, also known as Hell, Hell. They changed the Y, put a E, or Hell. And then you'll find the definition, the meaning that says the shining one. You get a good Strong's Concordance and look in the, should send you a lexicon. And I have them here. That's where I'm getting this information from. You look in the lexicon and you find the meaning, the shining one. And then you find the epithet, which is the king of Babylon. King of Babylon, or baby land. The king of Babylon. What is that? Somebody tell me what that is. You think it is a nation. That's what they told you it was back then. A nation. But today it is spiritually being called a person. B-A-B-Y, baby. Loins, and that's at the L. I mean, that's at the I.
Wow.
who is the baby loins that creates Halel, his baby. His soul was in the baby loins of his son, Cain.
Wow.
The epithet of the king of baby loins. Also the son of dawn. There it is. Also the star of the morning. This is what he's called. This is what Halel means, or Lucifer. I mean, our God did that. Planned it that way. Halel is also known today as the great dragon, Satan and the devil.
That old serpent.
That old serpent. That's how he's known. Baby, the king of baby loins. That's one meaning. Another meaning of baby loins or Babylon is the baby land. Notice that I also said that Halel is also known as the king of baby loin or baby land. This is the spiritual aspect today.
Yes.
I gave you the etymology and the chronological aspect of baby loins, just baby's loins. Now I'm going to give you the spiritual aspect of the word Babylon and a metaphor aspect, precept, which is baby land, Land. What does that mean? The baby land today on this planet that is the youngest nation to join two different parties to become united as one nation, which is both a Republican Party and a Democratic Party under one government. And that is one that's outside of dictatorship. And the only nation that's younger than the last nation to do this is called the United States today. And that's because that one baby land or loin of the government is called today's modern Babylon, was born on July 4th, 1776. I went over that the other morning with those who were here. This means that the same biblical Babylon or baby loins or Babylon, baby land, is not known today as it's now known today as the United States. America, that's how it's known today. And this is also one of those 195 nations that is coming to its end.
With
The other 194. And you can see it. Now, a synonymous word, remember I told you to get your synonym finder? A synonymous word for king today is president. And since the Strong's Concordance, on the reference H 1966, says that Lucifer, also known as Halel, is the king of Babylon, or baby land, right?
That's right.
Which is the United States of America today. Then this would also mean that the president of today is Halel of the United States. It's Halel. He's a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. He cannot speak the truth.
Okay.
We speak of the lie, he speaketh of his own, because he is a liar and the father of it. He even taught his son how to lie, and all those after him of his generations. And since this is the end of the world, of their world, or worlds, then the great dragon must be here too, right now. Just as Revelation promised. In fact, go to Revelation chapter 12. So I'm going to read Revelation chapter 12, verses 7, 8, and 9. And let's see if we can prove it. Revelation chapter 12, verses 7, 8, and 9.
And there was a war in heaven.
No, it wasn't. That's not what my Bible says.
And there was war in heaven.
That's what it says. There was war in heaven. Mm-hmm.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon.
And all of a sudden, we have Michael in the book called Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Michael.
And the dragon fought and his angels
Mm-hmm.
and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Now, did this happen yet? Yes, some did and some have not yet.
Right.
And some is going on right now. Read verse 9, please.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil,
Mm-hmm.
and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
That is the truth. I did not see in my Bible that he deceived some of the world. He deceiveth the whole world. And the whole world believe him.
Yes.
Those who he is deceiving. Now, we are not part of that world.
No.
You cannot deceive us.
Mm-hmm.
But let me bring to your attention and make an emphasis here that these 3 verses, this 3-verse passage that is found here in the King James Version book called Revelation, as I mentioned during your reading, is prophetic and cryptic. You got it?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
It's prophetic and cryptic. Even in a homogram, cryptogram, telegram of a message, and can only be explained by the Christ of your offer that was sealed.
Yes, sir.
Many people have come along and tried to just explain it and decipher it, but they could not. Only the Christ of Yodewafe can do it. So read verse 10 so we can show the people of this planet that Yodewafe have his own Christ.
Yes.
Read verse 10, let's see if we're making that up.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven,
Mm-hmm.
now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of Yodewafe, and the power of his Christ, Mem Yukaf Yodewafe. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before Yodewafe day and night.
Praise Wafe.
Praise Yahweh.
Toda. See, this verse proves that Yodewafe have his own Christ. It says the Christ, his Christ,
That's right.
and the power of his Christ. Other nations and their kings and their pastors, their clergymen, they have their own Christ.
Mm-hmm.
How do they get these own Christs, own gods?
Frame them words.
Someone read 2 Kings chapter 17. Let's see how they got there.
Frame these words.
But before we continue proving that Donald John Trump is the very soul of Hillel today, who's the father and also the son of Cain, let me first set the record straight again tonight. As we testify to this planet, we're going to prove where the other gods came from. Read that 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 29.
Quote, howbeit every nation made gods
Wait, hold
of
on
their
now.
own.
You got to take your time. What you just said?
Albeit
Did you hear what she just said?
So,
every nation.
How be it? That means it's settled. It's already done. She said, every nation.
Every.
Didn't even say some.
He said every.
She wasn't even lenient by saying some. Because she's reading what the Bible is saying. Every nation did what?
Made gods of their own.
And did what?
And put them in the high places of the,
Mm-hmm.
and put them in the houses
In
of
the houses of the high places.
of the high places.
They call them a church today. The white folks, hold on now, we can't go past this. The Europeans, the white people,
Mm.
the pink skin complexion people.
Mm.
They call this high place of the house a church. Church. They say church. And my people who speak English Creole, Judah, and the bishops and those pastors, they say church. Church. So white people are saying church, and my people are saying church. The white people are saying pastors, and my people are saying pastors. My pastor. Huh? Nevertheless, they are worshiping gods in high places that are called a church. And they put them in what? What else it says? Every nation.
which the Samaritans,
And look who made them. The Samaritans. Take off the S and spell it sideways, you got Americans. And what else?
had made
Uh-huh.
every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt.
Look at it. That's the Bible. Now, we're not making this up. You see it for yourself in the Bible. He was one of those gods.
Oh, snap.
Oh, no. Not him.
Whoa.
Shame.
This little homo. Look, sissy.
Caesar Bahia.
Oh, that's
That's Caesar Bahia.
not-
Disgusting.
Blasphemy.
Right.
That's the most famous God on this planet today.
It is.
I pray I didn't mean to cause you lose your appetite for those who did not eat.
It's over with. Oh, my Lord.
I apologize. In fact, I should have a trash can handy because I feel like I got to puke. I feel like I got to puke. But I have to do this. I'm only following a commandment that I was given. I did not want to do this.
Shame, my Lord.
But I'm being obedient. My Ab did it. But see, when he did it, see, he was in front of us, and when he did it, he did this. He said,
Left it.
that's what he did. I can see my people who are watching this video, watching live now. He crazy. He hit Jesus. That nigga crazy. He's slapping Jesus.
Yeah, in the back hand.
Jesus gonna get him.
See all kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, y'all, let's pray. Let's pray. Let's pray for this poor child.
Yeah. You know not what he do.
My goodness.
Wow.
Not even realizing, as I testified, revealed a few moments ago, that the God of Hebrews is black. Someone go to Daniel chapter 7 and read verse 9, please. And I know that a lot of our people, those of my people, I know,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got you.
those who came down, I know you have been ridiculed, scorned, who came down from cities. And we have a lot of cities in this house tonight that came down on obedience. And some got stopped at the roadblock, like I said, state lines.
You
I said it was going to happen. And that's just the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah.
Some are not going to be able to travel.
Mm.
I'm going to make sure I get our brother
Yes.
and his daughter
Yes.
who wants to come down.
Yes.
I'm going to pay for the ticket, the airline ticket for him to come.
Right.
You know, I don't just talk, I do it.
No,
Shame, my Lord.
take care of
Yes, you
business.
do. Yes, you do.
As long as I have the money, and I will only buy his ticket. I buy whoever else wants to come down. I get their tickets too.
Yes, sir.
I get it now while the prices are very low.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Prices are very low. So if you want to come, if you watch this video and you want to come, you better let me know. We'll find a place for you too. See, at my Ob's house, at my father's house, I have many mansions.
And
I go to prepare a place for you. If it were not so, I would not told you.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Who have that? Read that. Daniel 7,
Yes, sir.
9. What does it say, please?
And I quote, I beheld till the thrones were cast down,
Mm-hmm.
And the Ancient of Days
Yeah.
did sit,
Just it.
whose garment was white as snow.
Oh, wait now. The Ancient of Days.
Ancient.
The Ancient of Days means it's someone who's older than days.
Right.
Wow.
And the only one who's Ancient of Days is the one who created days. If you hear Ancient of Days, right? This book,
Created days. Wow.
this book that we mentioned and showed several times, even last Wednesday.
Praise Yodai Wabe.
Praise Yodai Wabe. Ancient of Days.
This book on page 19, actually on page 18, begins 50 appellations, 50 that he placed in here, of himself and of his son. And on page 19, to the top, the very first appellation on page 19, it says,
Ancient of Days.
the Ancient of Days.
Right there.
Now, I had to say that and share that for those who are online right now on live stream. As I had one, even on YouTube. If you watch it on YouTube, someone asked me, according to our last, in care of our last video last week, I have a question. I got a question, and it was apparently one of our Hebrew women who asked me, "Who is that man in back of you? Who is that man in a painting or a picture in back of you?" Well, if you're watching again tonight, this video, he's the Ancient of Days
Yes.
who did sit, and he identified himself in this book. You can order it online. So I let him tell you who he is. He is the Ancient of Days. I'm just introducing him to you who did not know, as he has already introduced himself.
Yes.
And as you can see, the photo image in back of me, over my left shoulder to the right of the screen, you can see without the head wrap, the turban like I have on, he has woolly hair. It doesn't say the hair like, read that again, please.
Yes, sir. And I quote Daniel chapter 7, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ancient of Days did sit,
Now you know who it is.
Sit.
Who's what?
whose garment was white as snow.
Uh-huh.
And
Don't you have the garment?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
His name, I attached his name to the garment, but it's white as snow.
White as snow.
The name, as you can see, is created by 3 Hebrew characters. Right?
Yes, sir.
One of the 3 is positioned twice, which is A. And from right to left is pronounced Yod He Wav He. In English translation is known as Yahweh. Right? So a garment is white as snow. And what else? The hair.
And the hair,
He has hair. See, he's not bald.
head.
So don't go and fall for that bald-headed fellow who's on somewhere around here. You can watch and see him on Facebook sometimes. That is not the Ancient of Days. Neither is it the Ancient of Days who died and came back and jumped inside his bald-headed body and said, "I am him. I'm back." Don't believe that. My soul warned you that these things will be happening. Don't fall for it. Do not be deceived. Let no man deceive you. What else? His garment was white, so hair of his head like the pure wool. And the only people on the planet, the only human beings on this planet that has pure woolly hair are what they call black people. Negro, colored, Brownsville people. Huh?
Yes, sir.
This is not woolly hair.
Nowhere near.
Huh? This is not woolly hair. I apologize.
Yes, come on.
I had some in here go, "Oh, get on get that out of my face." Oh, did you notice that that's a painting? That's a painting. That's a painting. Over my left shoulder to the right of the screen is a photo image. And in the books, all his books is a photo image.
Real life.
And what else? Is what?
And his throne
Uh-huh.
was like the fiery flame.
Uh-huh. See, the throne is what we see out there at night. We're gonna probably go take it to other people. That's the throne. And what else? The
And
wheels?
his wheels is burning fire.
The wheels are what you see around it. As you look at that one, there's one over there. Oh, that one moving. See, those are the wheels. They call them flying saucers, a wheel, like in the middle of the wheel.
Right.
That's what they are. Is that what you have?
Yes, sir.
Look at, go to First Song of Solomon, chapter 1, and read verse 5, please. Song of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 5. We're going to kill this lie. We're killing this lie.
Yes, sir.
All right? Okay. See, my people, they said, you going down there, you're going to follow that man. Isn't that what they said? We're going to clear it up tonight. We clear
Yes,
that up. And they coming to see, my people are coming down to Miami or Florida. Those who've been ridiculed by their family members and friends.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because they obeyed when Mount Ob came and chose to place his ineffable name here.
Yes.
You got that?
Yes, sir.
He chose to place his ineffable name here as a designating landing area to gather and then to pick up his children. That's why you see the mothership and all the ships hanging over, moving over Miami.
Over your house.
Designating landing areas over my house.
Exactly.
You see that?
I bear witness.
You bear witness.
I bear witness.
Right.
We bear witness.
Bear witness.
Praise your name.
Even as many of those people who ridiculed you and scorned you, some own spouses, husbands, wives, parents, right? Y'all going down there to follow that man. What in hell do you call this?
Beast. Look like a mankind. Beast. Mankind.
Huh? Y'all going to follow that man.
Mankind.
Right? That's what they're saying. Even as many has commented to me.
Oh, sissy.
They left comments for me.
No.
And said, they even actually said to me, say, you fools are following a man. And then they come up with that slave name. You're following a man, you fools.
Yeah.
You have Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Okay, read that.
I am black.
What?
I am black.
BLAC cared about. Solomon said, King Solomon. King Solomon say, I am black. What else?
But comely.
But that's good looking. Come means good looking.
Yes.
What?
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon.
Now you can read that whole chapter. It's the first chapter of Solomon. And when you read verses 1, 2, 3, and 4, you will discover that the first 4 verses is one of his wives singing to him. It's a song. One of his wives is singing, because when you read verse 2, you'll see, let him kiss me on my breast or something like that. And Solomon was not a homosexual.
No.
He was not gay. He ain't gonna tell no man to kiss him on his breast. He looks at his breast. So you know there had to be a woman singing to him.
Right.
And then in verse 5, it's a solo. I mean, not a solo, it's a duet.
Right.
In verse 5, he takes over the song and say, I am black, but comely. He also had woolly hair. Solomon was also the son of David, right? Go to Proverbs chapter 1 and read verse 1. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1.
Quote, the Proverbs of Shlomo, the son of David, king of Israel.
So since Solomon was the son of David, that means David is black. Huh? Go to Job and read verses 30. Chapter 30 and verse 30. Read chapter 30, verse 30. Job chapter 30, verse 30.
30.
Yeah. 30. It's going to get you, huh? That 30.
Get 'em.
Job chapter 30, verse 30 says what?
My skin is black
The
upon
skin, don't make a mistake. The skin complexion is black upon me. And what?
and my bones are burned with heat.
That is anger. That means anger. See, that's I see the white folks, those who love Jesus. They say, did you read that? You could see right there that was a white man, and he was out at the beach, and he got a suntan, and his skin turned black. Because it was right there, he was in the heat. You fools. Since when you ever seen a white man go in the sun and turn black?
Right. That was orange.
They can't even get past the sun tone of the skin start burning, and then it starts peeling.
Yeah.
They call it a sunburn.
Yeah.
Orange.
It turned orange.
Exactly.
After a few days, it start peeling. They go right back to white. Is that right?
That's right.
Go to Revelation chapter 21, chapter 22, and look at verse 16. Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. What does that say? That's the last chapter in the book. Revelation, very last chapter in the back of your Bible. Revelation chapter 22, verse 16.
I, Memdukaf Yodewafe, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches.
Mm-hmm.
I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
The Christ said, I am the root and offspring of David. That means he was here before David. He was here after David.
Right.
I'm going to reveal in a few moments how many times he was here in total.
Mm.
In a few moments. That means he's also the stem of Jesse. That means he's the stem of Jesse. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So since he say he's the root offspring of David, and we just found out that David's son of the father of Solomon, the arm of Solomon. Solomon say, I'm black. So now we have David black, Solomon black, the Christ is black.
There we go.
Genealogy.
There it is.
Right?
Undeniable.
And now go to Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14, please. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14.
Splendid.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. Let's see who the people are saying that this white boy came from, that they call Jesus. What the Bible says, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hebrews 7:14 says what?
Now quote. For it is evident.
Evident. They have evidence of this. Right?
Yes, sir.
That what?
That our Lord,
Our Lord,
Mem Yod Kaf Yod He
Yod Kaf Yod Wafe,
sprang out
of what?
of Judah.
Of Judah. Of what?
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Now we have in the scriptures that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Straight up out of
Right?
tribes of
All right. So now we have to find out more of Judah. But something happened to Judah.
Yep.
Hitting the head and bread.
Turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Well, actually, let's go to Genesis chapter 15 first. Genesis chapter 15 and read verse 13. All right? Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. Look at the angels reading. See, this is prophetical.
Yes, sir.
You read in Revelation that you heard the voice of an angel and the voice of another angel. And I heard the voice of another angel. Well, you will hear the voices. It said you hear the voices. You will not see them.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're doing now, fulfilling prophecy.
Yes.
You hear the voices of the angels.
Yes.
Read that, please.
And he said unto Abram,
Yes.
know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
400 years. But that's a seed of Abraham, right? Not the children of Abraham.
Right.
One seed out of 12. Let's see who was speaking to Abram. Spake, right?
Yes, sir.
Read Acts chapter 7, verse 6. Go to that now. Acts chapter 7, verse 6. Let's see who this was who spake to Abram before his name was changed to Abraham. Abraham. Right?
Quote,
Yes.
and Yodewave spake on this wise.
So it was Yodewave. It was God, Yodewave, who spoke. Spake on this wise.
This wise.
Right.
Face to face.
Face.
What?
That his seed should sojourn.
Oh, it was Yodewave's seed. It was his seed.
Yes.
That what?
Should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage.
Bring them into bondage. Bring them into bondage. Not Egypt.
Right.
All of the children of Israel, all 12 seeds were in bondage in Egypt, but they were not brought into Egypt.
No.
They walked into Egypt with
Praise
Jacob.
the Lord.
Right.
And there was only 70 souls. You can read the book called Exodus chapter 1 and you'll see that. 70 souls walked into Egypt with Jacob.
That's right.
Only 70. And throughout the years and the generations, they multiplied. And eventually one Pharaoh died, the next Pharaoh died, and all of a sudden they became slaves in Egypt. Not in bondage, they became slaves in Egypt. Read on. And they what?
And that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years.
400 years.
Wow.
Right? The first so-called Negro slave was sold in this state. In the city, the oldest city in this state, probably the United States, is called St. Augustine. And there's a monument, it's a tourist attraction today. But if you go there, you have to wear a mask today. If it's opened. And on that monument, there's a plaque that says the first Negro slave was sold here in the slave auction in the year 1555. 1555 plus 400 equals 1955.
Wow.
And here we are in 2020. Let's prove that this was the seed of Yodewave. Right?
Yes, sir.
Turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28. But before you do that, go to chapter 14, read verse 1, so they can see who this seed is. If we can prove, we're going to prove that this seed was the child of Yodewave. All these seeds today, 12 of them, they're known as the 12 tribes of Israel, are his children.
Yes, sir.
Read verse 1, chapter 14, verse 1, Deuteronomy.
Ye are the children of Yodewave,
Oh my goodness.
your God.
It is.
Ye are the children. How? Because he placed his seed in Abraham's loins. And then Abraham had a son and named him Isaac, although he had two sons. The oldest son was Ishmael. Ishmael. But he wasn't the chosen son because his mother was Egyptian, but Hebrew. So made it possible for Abraham to bear another son,
Sure did.
Yasik. And Yasik had a Hebrew mother,
Yes, he did.
Sarah. And that made two parents Hebrew to carry the covenant. Right? And then Yasik had two nations, twins, fraternal twins, not identical. Two nations, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob had 12 sons. Go to Genesis, go back to Genesis for a minute, chapter 49. Right? Read verses 1 and 2.
And Jacob
Uh-huh.
called unto his sons and said,
Jacob called into his sons and said what?
gather yourselves together,
Uh-huh.
that I may tell you
That which I may tell you. That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
When is that?
Right now.
The last days. What verse is that?
Verse 1. my Lord.
Read verse 2.
Gather yourselves together
Uh-huh.
and hear,
Here. Uh-huh.
ye sons of Jacob,
Whoa. You sons of Jacob. And what?
and hearken unto Israel your father.
Right. Now read verse 8.
Yehuda,
Judah. Uh-huh.
thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
Yes.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies.
Strength. Uh-huh.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
Uh-huh. Read the next verse.
Yehuda is a lion's whelp.
Uh-huh.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion,
Uh-huh.
and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up?
Praise the Lord.
Praise
What you
God.
think?
Now I go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. Before you leave that, read verse 23. And let's see what that says.
The archers have sorely grieved him,
Mm-hmm.
and shot at him, and hated him.
Uh-huh. Now read verse 28.
All these,
How many?
all these
Are what?
are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Yes. Right. And what?
And this is it that their father spake unto them.
So from verses 1 through 28, he told all 12 what's going to happen in the last days. And then when you get to 28, it identifies them who they are today. The 12 tribes of Israel. But 2 of the tribes are not over in the Middle East today. Let's see what happened to Judah. So now turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28. And let's see what happened to Judah. What was promised that would happen to Judah. Okay? And read verse 15.
But it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass. Verse 15 at what?
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yod-Heh-Waveh thy
To
God,
give off his voice?
to the voice of.
To the voice of Yod-Heh-Waveh. That what?
To observe, to do all his commandments.
All of them?
All.
That what's going to happen?
And his statutes.
Yes.
Which I command thee this day,
Uh-huh.
that all these curses shall come
All
upon
curses
thee.
shall come upon thee.
Yes.
Where is Judah today?
So true.
Read verse 41.
Thou shalt beget sons and daughters,
So what?
but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Word. These are curses now.
Yes.
What else?
For they shall go into captivity.
See, that's why. What? They shall go to captivity.
Yes.
Read the next verse. Keep reading.
All thy trees and fruits of thy land shall the locust consume.
They had a blessing. They had farms, growing fruits and vegetables, and having animals. The locusts. Your sent locusts after them. They ate up all the crops. Curses. Read on.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
What? And you shall come down very low.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Good gracious. And that's where they are now. Low in the ghetto.
Wow.
To the bottom of the pole. Low.
Bottom of the pot.
Yeah, that's why men had to descend down.
Right.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Where the gate is open up at the bottom of them.
Yes.
So you come in.
Straight gate.
Not 10th.
Right.
No, falling in.
Read on.
He shall lend to thee,
Uh-huh.
and thou shalt not lend to him.
That's what's going on today. Go ahead.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Wow. Is that not happening?
Yes.
Woo. Even in our own neighborhoods, anyone can come from another country and open up a store
Yep. So close.
and become rich, especially with the help of our own people, making them rich.
Yes.
And our people have been here for over 400 years. They can't open up a store and become rich because they're still at the tail, at the bottom. Read on. What else it says?
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee,
Wow. Well,
and shall pursue thee.
even going to follow them. They can't even escape the curses. They try to run from a curse, and the curse looking right at them and running right behind them. And they're looking back at the curse, trying to get away from the curse. And the curse said, I'm going to catch you. You think you will get away. No, I got you. Read on. What else?
And overtake thee.
Run past him. The curse would catch him and then run past him. And here they are following the curse. Can't get the curse. Can't get rid of the curse. What else?
Till thou be destroyed.
Till I be destroyed. Read verse 49, please, for the sake of our schedule.
Yes, sir.
What's it say?
Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh shall bring a nation against thee from far.
What? From where?
From the end of the earth.
That's Europe. That's north. Europe. And what?
As swift as the eagle flieth.
See, the eagle flies up north. And what?
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not comprehend.
Why? Because you were speaking Hebrew, Judah. You could not understand or comprehend English. Ing up north. And what? A nation of what? Fierce countenance?
A nation of fierce countenance.
That's because they had a scary looking skin complexion.
Right.
Leprosy. White. And when they saw it, it's like they knew what the law was of leprosy. It's a sickness. It's a curse.
Yes, it is.
White skin, yellow hair, they call blonde, and blue eyes. It's a curse. Even the eyes changed. And what happened with that? And what happened? And what did you do?
Which shall not regard the person of the old, excuse me, nor shew favor to the young.
Wow. What else? Read on.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Isn't he doing that?
Yes, sir.
And what else?
And the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed.
What? That means a lot of Judah was going to be destroyed, and they were destroyed. A lot of Judah was destroyed.
And will be destroyed.
And continue to be destroyed if it don't come. At least 2 parts of all the land shall be cut off and died. We should tell people, telling them to come, tell them the truth, but they won't listen. Okay, go back to verse 45 for a moment. Let's prove something. And let's show them something.
Yes, sir.
Moreover,
all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh thy God.
That's why. Read on.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
And read verse 46, 7.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Some are not going to escape it. And you know why it says forever? Because some are not going to return. They're going to continue to stay out there, and they're going to be destroyed forever. Read verse 47, please.
Because thou servest not Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Wow.
For the abundance of all things.
Now read verse 48, because some have never seen this before.
Yes, sir.
Even those who are online right now, on the teleconference line, telephone, some are watching this on live stream on YouTube and Facebook, YouTube live stream, Facebook's live stream. They've never seen this before.
Yes, sir.
So read verse 48 so they can see it and get a shock of their life.
Yes, sir.
Verse 48.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh shall send against thee.
And what?
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness.
Hold it. You know what that's called? Who's that called? It's called a dearth. D-E-A-R-T-H. A dearth. You got it? Pause it for a moment. You got your dictionary? Look up D-E-A-R-T-H, dearth. Whoever has it. That's called dearth. You know, like earth, but put a D in front of it. And what do you have? We have a very good dictionary. You have our Webster's, our in-house dictionary by Webster.
Yes, sir.
First copyright goes back to 1955. Yeah. D-E-A-R-T-H. We went over this once before. We're going to be doing it. I'm obeying the commandment. My album wants the world to see this again, especially children, because this is it. This is the end. He has given them one more opportunity to come. Because I'm about to tell you, I'm about to share something tonight that's going to be devastating, because we're about to dry up the land. You know, they don't know what that means. We're about to dry up the land. You don't know what it means, so I'm going to reveal it. I'm going to slow some moment. You have dirt?
Can, my Lord.
What dirt says?
Scarcity of food supply.
Ooh. What?
Damn.
A scarcity of food supply. Like I've been coming on doing editorial
For years.
for years and years,
Years.
saying stock up, stock up.
Years.
Here comes another dirt. I told you we're getting ready to dry up this
Dry
land. Dirt. What else?
Famine.
Famine.
Privation.
Provision.
Want. Scarcity and lack.
What?
As a dearth of corn.
Of corn. And what else?
Scarcity. Scarcity, originally, costliness, and dearthness. That's all, my Lord.
Okay. So you have dirt. You have something else? We have some shit. How about y'all have something else? What else you have?
Just a second.
Huh?
It's loading.
It's loading.
It's
Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Because
okay.
I got one. Insufficiency.
Say it loud so you can be heard.
Insufficiency.
Insufficiency.
Deficiency.
Yeah.
Deficiency.
Deficiency.
Inadequacy.
What?
Scarcity.
Uncommonness.
Destitution. Privation. Famine. Drought.
Famine. Drought. I just said we're going to dry us up. Drought.
Drought. That's what you're looking for. Drought.
Got him.
I just said we're going to dry up something.
Got him.
What else? You found it? Come
It
on.
just says he pretty much summed it up. Scarcity that makes dear, specifically, and inadequate supply.
Wow.
A dearth of
enough.
There it is.
Wow.
Ain't gonna be enough to feed everybody.
Wow.
Scarcity.
I want you to keep your mind, as you finish that verse, I want you to keep your mind on famine. Go ahead, continue to read that verse.
And in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron.
Wait, hold it. You got what? You should put a yoke of iron where?
Upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
Those who went and walked into Egypt with Yaakov, 70 soldiers that walked into Yaakov, they walked into Egypt. They did not have yokes of iron upon their necks.
No, they did not.
Walked in
That means what? That means the only people in the history of this world that were brought into bondage by ships had yokes of iron placed around their necks and their feet and their ankles. I should say ankles and wrists of the so-called Negro slaves.
The ones.
The
The ones.
only ones. Genesis 15:13 say they would be brought into bondage. Acts 7:6 said brought into bondage. All right? Read verse 68, please. Same chapter.
And Yod-Heh-Waveh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way,
Again?
again.
It
It
is.
was already there once.
Once. And what else?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Why?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
What?
Sold.
Sold into your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Yes,
Is that what it says?
that's what it says.
Who do you know? What other nation of people? Now, don't be coming up with no Holocaust, no Jews.
Don't even try it.
That's not going to work.
Don't even
Not with us.
Don't even try it.
Let me show you where they get that from and why they stole that. Go to Jeremiah now, chapter 13, and read verse 19. Okay, Jeremiah 13:19. And what do you have?
quote, these cities of the south shall be shut up, and none shall open them. Judah shall be carried away captive, all of it.
What?
It shall be wholly carried away captive.
That scripture identifies who it was that were carried away into bondage captive by a strange tongue that thou shalt not understand, whose fierce countenance you should be afraid of. Judah. Right? The word Judah created the root word Jews. That you know today, a J, with a J.
That's right.
Jew, if you look in the dictionary, we're not going to do it because of our schedule. But if you look under the dictionary, if you look in the dictionary, the word Jew, the noun Jew, it says the ancient people of Judah. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now go to the next chapter, read verses, that's chapter 14.
Yes, sir.
Read verses 1 and 2. And then you got to read verse 1.
Of what, Jeremiah?
Same? Yeah, next chapter 14, Jeremiah. Verse 1.
Quote, the word of Yodewapeh that came to Yirmiyahu concerning the dirt.
Oh, concerning the what?
Dirt.
Dearth. D-E-A-R-T-H you have? And we under dearth again today. I'm going to show you in a moment. Read verse 2. Let's see if it's the Jews or the Miami Beach. Or New York.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the
That
ground.
kills those Jews on Miami Beach law.
There you go.
And New York and the Jews all over this planet, especially those in Israel right now over our land, in the Middle East, Tel Aviv, the Gaza Strip, Jerusalem, Jordan, all those who claim to be Jews, you are a liar. You are not black into the ground. And that means from your head to the foot, you are a Hebrew Judah liar. That's why they say they are Israelis.
Right.
Because they know they're lying. Invade our land in 70 AD, the Romans. In 70 AD, after the death of the Christ, and took over the land, stole it. Why? Because they know it's the holiest and richest land on the planet.
Yes.
But they're not black. And I guess you should be wondering, why would a white prophet write about black people? Oh, yeah? Go to chapter 8 of Jeremiah. Oh, yeah, a white prophet? That they put paintings on the dictionaries and the encyclopedias of a white Jeremiah prophet. Go to Jeremiah chapter 8 and read verse 21. And what do you have?
Quote, for the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black.
Oh.
Astonishment have taken hold on me.
Jeremiah. So you have, when you read that verse, look at the punctuation marks.
Right.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. You shouldn't have a semicolon.
That's what's there.
That means he paused
Yeah.
to remind all of those that were there with him and listened to him as he was speaking, I am black. I'm not a Jew, white, pink. Are you forgetting who I am?
Right.
I'm one of you. I am black. And after that, you should see another semicolon. That means whatever happens before the semicolon and whatever follows the semicolon has nothing to do with what's in between.
Right.
Two totally different subjects.
Right.
I am black. So we do not have a white Jeremiah who prophesied of a black tribe of people who were taken in captivity. The only history of people that fits are the so-called African Americans today who are stuck on this bastard.
Oh,
There you go.
You know, I'm spoiled appetite. I got to do it. You just gotta. I get you some Alka-Seltzer. I get you some Pepto-Bismol, but you got to look at this. But our people, your people, those who said you going under the follow that band.
yeah.
Did you read? Go to Exodus. Go to Exodus 15:3.
Oh, we ain't read that yet.
Go to Exodus 15:3. You following a man, you fools. How you gonna follow? That's right. We are following a man. We are following a man, a black Hebrew man God.
Yes.
Right.
The God of the black Hebrews.
That's
I
right.
A
heard.
black God, a great, good, terrible, and black God, a
Yeah.
mighty God. That's what we're following. A
Yeah.
black,
Praise
mighty
your
God.
name. That's
Praise.
right.
That's what we're following.
That's right.
Glory.
Read that.
Glory.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 3 says what?
Yod-Heh-Wav is a man
A
of
what?
war.
He's a what?
A
A
man.
man.
That's it.
What's wrong with following a man? Not only is he a man, he's a man of war.
Man of war.
And that's raw. We serve the raw God.
Yes, we do.
Right?
Yes, we do.
War backwards.
Yes, we do.
R-A-W or W-R, whichever way you want to put it, we following a man
That's
Came, my
right.
Lord.
of war.
That's right.
And what's his name? And what's that?
Yod-Heh-Wav is his
They
name.
took that out. But we know it's Yod-Heh-Wav.
Had
Lord.
to.
That's right. We're following a man. You going in and following a man? Yes. Who you following? What is this? Who that is? Who is that?
Caesar piece.
See, they were taught that.
Caesar piece.
They were taught that.
Caesar piece.
See why? See where you were taught that?
Oh my goodness.
That's your
Wow.
slave master.
Massive. Massive.
Your slave master taught you to follow his God.
Yeah, yes, he
Oh
did.
my goodness.
That's a white boy, a white slave master.
That boy look like
The ones who you just read in Deuteronomy 28 said would be over you. They would be. See, no man will buy you. No man will buy you
Mm-mm.
because they are beasts.
Right.
That's why no man will buy you. Let's see Jacob.
Kind of like a man.
See Judah right there next to his slave
right
master.
onto the ground.
And look what he's wearing, a Confederate uniform.
Got it.
Confederate uniform,
Got it.
right? This white slave master taught you to follow his white God.
Ooh.
They taught you to follow his white God. And you know what you call him today? You call him Jesus, right? Well, I have some bad news for you because this is Jesus too.
Damn. Holy.
I am not making this up. His name is Jesus. It's spelled Jesus Fernandez. Look it up in the Google encyclopedia. Jesus Fernandez. Espanol is Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
I challenge you. Go to Google and type in Jesus Hernandez, as you know it. I would like to know what Jesus are you following?
Right.
Statistically, you fools, you are my people.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, statistics of today's census. I want them to see this. You blaspheming us because we're following our God, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. I'll read it. Statistically, first name, Jesus, national statistics of the United States. People who are named Jesus, 261,547 men in this country named Jesus.
Wow.
Which one?
Whole bunch of
The national rank, 256. The percentile rank is 99.9%.
Wow.
damn.
Population estimate, 26%
Mm.
of people. I got reference. Look to the bottom, summary. Jesus is ranked as the 256th most popular given name in the United States. I repeat, quote, Jesus in all caps, all caps,
Mm-hmm.
Came, my Lord.
You say the name of Jesus, you fool. Who are Hernandez, Rodriguez, Gonzalez, which one? They're all white. Jesus is ranked as the 256th most popular given name in the United States with an estimated population of 261,547. The name is the 99th percentile. This means that nearly 0% of all the first names are more popular.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
And as you can see, it's a printout that I printed out off of the internet. You can go to it. It's there. And you think it's strange for us to be following the true and only living God? Somebody turn to Jeremiah chapter 10. Please. Jeremiah chapter 10. You think it's strange for us to be following our true God. Read verses 8, 9, and 10 of Jeremiah.
But they are altogether brutish and foolish.
Start at verse 7. Please.
Who would not fear thee, O King of nations?
Good gracious. What else it says?
For to thee doth it appertain, for as much as among all the wise men of the nations in all their kingdoms.
Yes. What else?
There is none like unto thee.
What, how many?
None.
What else he have?
But they are altogether brutish and foolish.
You know what brutish means? Stupid. Dumb. What else it says?
The stock is a doctrine of vanities.
Yes.
Silver spread into plates is brought from Tarshish. And gold from Euphaz. What else? The work of the workmen and of the hands.
That means what they're doing is they're making gods out of silver and gold, like Aaron did. He made the golden calf out of earrings, the golden earrings of the women, Hebrew women, while Moshe was up in the mothership for 40 days. Woo. Not the mountain. It's some Disney World stuff they're giving you. What else it says?
And of the hands of the founders.
Yes.
Blue and purple is their clothing.
Don't they wear this? See, look like priests, the Catholic priests.
Yeah, out on the streets. Out on the streets.
What else?
They are all the work of cunning man.
Yes.
But Yodewave is the true God.
Is the true God. He is what?
He is the living God.
Yes.
And the everlasting King.
The living God. Our God lives. I'm testifying about all.
That's right.
It was told I would come and do this.
Yes.
The living God. He lives.
Praise
the true God.
Praise.
What's going to happen to all the other gods? Read on.
At his wrath the earth shall tremble.
Shall tremble. And what else?
And the nation shall not be able to abide his indignation.
Read the next verse, please.
Thus shall ye say unto them.
Yes.
The gods that have not made the heavens and the earth.
Wait a minute. Now, there's some gods who had not made the heavens and the earth. What's going to happen to them?
Even they shall perish from the earth.
I don't see might. They shall perish. Right. From where?
From the earth.
And from where?
And from under these heavens.
That's enough. I think they got the message.
Praise.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 3 say Exodus 15:3. Exodus 15:3 said that what? That our God
is a man of war.
A man of war. Yes. And Yodewave is his name. Are we following a man? Yes, we're following a man. It don't have to be a mystery any longer. You want to know if you're following a man? Yes, we're following a man. This is what he looks like.
Praise.
This is
a man.
Yeah.
This is what he looked like.
Hallelujah.
Most This is the one who resurrected us. He came in the flesh as a man, right? Because he created flesh. He's not bound to come in any body that he wanted to come in. It's his bodies. And then he gave you a body, a seed. As a seed, he gave you your own body as it pleased him to give you your own body. It said he would in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 38. I think you should read that. Go to 1 Corinthians, read chapter 15 and verse 38. He is also the God in the flesh that you hear right now testifying to you of him.
Yes, sir.
It's another God here on earth right now, testifying of another God.
Yes,
of the earth.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I quote.
Yes.
But Yodewave, give it a body.
Right.
As it has pleased.
Go back up to verse 37 so they can see. Read verse 36, 37, 38 so they can see what's going on here.
And I quote 1 Corinthians 15, verse 36. thou fool, that which soweth is not quickened, except it die.
Mm-hmm.
And that which thou sowest not, that body that shall be,
Wow.
but bear grain.
Real.
It may
You come out as a seed. You be a seed, the sperm of your what you call a daddy.
grain.
You're just a seed. And you don't become a body until you get inside the incubator.
Right.
You have to go inside of an incubator for 40 weeks before you become a whole body to come out of the womb. Read and see.
It may chance of wheat or of some other grain,
Mm-hmm.
but Yod-Heh-Wav have it a body, as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body.
Yes.
Praise
Praise the Lord.
Praise
That's what you have right now. Your soul, which is the seed, is in your own body. As you came back with us. And that means that the Christ of Yod-Heh is also a man,
Yes, indeed.
not a beast. You following paintings. You were told that he was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the famine?
The dirt.
Now the dearth.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Matthew chapter 24. Let's just straighten this out before we move on. And go back as we prove who Hallel is and who's here today. Read verses Matthew 24, start at verse 5. Let's see what's happening today with this gospel and other things.
Quote, for many shall come in my name,
See?
saying,
What?
I am Christ,
Uh-huh.
and shall deceive many.
And that's what's going on now, even our people.
Yep.
And then what else? In verse what? 6.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of
That's
wars.
what's going on now. This is the last days. Uh-huh.
See that ye be not troubled,
Uh-huh. Wow.
for all these things must come to pass,
And what
but
else?
the end is
It's
not yet.
Now read the next verse.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Yes.
and kingdom against
And
kingdom,
they shall, uh-huh.
and there shall be famines.
Did you just say famines?
Yes, sir.
But you just said famines in plural.
Yes,
Ooh,
indeed.
famines.
That's what you said. In the plural?
Plural.
And what else?
And pestilences,
Oh my goodness.
and earthquakes
Yes. It's
in
coming.
divers places.
Yes. They're happening right now anyway. They're
Yes,
happening.
sir.
Yeah,
Just
bear
read
witness.
about divers.
What are they?
Damn, my Lord.
Okay. Praise the Lord. Told
Praise the Lord.
I think you got the message. Both the Father and the Son came back and brought you back with us.
Yes, sir.
Here you are. Here ye are. And we are a man. M-A-N.
Yes.
Not even realizing that that's Mem, Adam, and Noon at the same time. You think man come from? In the garden, formed of the dust of the ground.
Yes, sir.
Mem, Adam, and Noon at the same time.
Got him.
You want to know who followed the man? Praise the Lord.
Mama.
And both the Father and his Son are symbolized in human form.
Yes, sir.
And both the Father, the Ab, and his Son, Beth, Nun Sophie,
Wow.
were celestially chronographed by the numerics 2 and 7.
There it is.
Suck on that for a little while. I say we were both chronographed by the numerics, the power of the numerics 2 and 7, separately. 2 and 7. This is the 7th day of the 2nd month. I repeat once again, both the Father, or Ab in Hebrew, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, and his Son, Mem Yod-Kaf Yod-Wav-Heh, are two beings that are symbolized in human form. And both the Father and his Son were celestially chronographed by the numerics 2 and 7 separately. And that's chronograph. Here's how it spells from left to right. CHRONOGRAPH, chronographed. In past tense, ED, because we're here now.
Right.
Why were we chronographed? Here's why. So that the Father and his Son have the power to control what you call time, T-I-M-E. I repeat, we were chronographed so that we, the Father and his Son, can control time, T-I-M-E. How? As the Father controls the Son, S-U-N, as the Ancient of Days, then the Son, S-O-N, has the power to control this planet. Insomuch until the Son, S-O-N, of God, G-O-D, can call to his Father, Yod-He-Wav-He, and make this planet stop like a stopwatch from revolving and rotating around the great sun of the accuracy of the Sun, S-U-N, at the same time.
Good.
I said, the Son, S-O-N, of God, G-O-D, can call to his Father, F-A-T-H-E-R, Yod-He-Wav-He, Aleph, Father, and make this planet stop like a stopwatch from revolving and rotating around the great accuracy of the Sun, S-U-N, at the same time.
There you go.
In other words, the word chronograph, C-H-R-O-N-O-G-R-A-P-H, with the E-D at the end, that means we already here, that causes it to become past tense, is defined as, I quote, a specific type of watch that is used as a stopwatch combined with a display watch. A basic chronograph has an independent sweep, second hand, and can be started, stopped, and returned to zero by successive pressure of the stem, end quote. Now, with that definition, and in other words, because of one of the appellations of Yod-He-Wav-He is called, quote, the Ancient of Days, end quote, as I said a few moments ago on page 19 of this book. And on page 19, that he wrote and placed in the book. On page 19 at the top, as it says, Ancient of Days, appellation of Yod-He-Wav-He, Bethusophet Yod-He-Wav-He, Yom. I beheld, quote, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire, end quote, Daniel 7:9 that you just read.
Praise so that
Wow. Good. Praise. Wow.
That means that Yod-He-Wav-He has the power over time. He has the power over time. Yom. Right?
Right.
Okay. And since the Son of Yod-He-Wav-He is like Yod-He-Wav-He, that's the meaning of his very name. Then this means that the Son of Yod-He-Wav-He has in his soul a specific type of chronograph that is symbolized as a display watch that has the power like a stopwatch that is combined with the Ancient of Days, who is also Yom, Yod-He-Wav-He, and Yod-He-Wav-Mem-Sophi, Yod-Wav-Mem-Sophi, Yod-He-Wav-Mem-Sophi, and Yod-He-Wav-He, Mem-Yod-Kaf-Yod-Wav-He, the interval of days. The lifetime, the time itself that consists of the period in general of what makes a year, of which the temporal references are known as, quote, today, yesterday, tomorrow, and forever. And that is why I have the power to give you life forever. And all you have to do is believe in me.
right.
Believe in my name. And then I will give you power to become the sons of Yod-He-Wav-He,
Praise Yod-He-Wav-He.
that you can live forever. Reference Strong's H 3117. You thought of making it up? Look it up for yourself and study it. Strong's H 3117. I'm not done.
Oh no, my goodness.
In so much until the son of Yudewavhe, S-O-N, even as a basic chronograph, has the power to make an independent sweep of the sun, S-U-N, to then become the second hand.
Oh.
That will then enable the son, S-O-N, to call to his father, Yod-He-Wav-He, who art in heaven, from the surface of this planet called the ground, to stop this planet from revolving and rotating around the S-U-N sun for 24 hours.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then later, after 24 hours, ask the father of Yod-He-Wav-He to start the motor of this planet up again. In order for his chrono, C-H-R-O-N-O, that relates to time, to return back to zero by a successive pressure of the stem, S-T-E-M, of his watch, which is the same as the stem of Jesse.
Woo! Oh, please say one more time. Oh, one more time, please. Oh, one more time.
I repeat.
Please.
So here's again very carefully.
Oh,
The son of Yod-He-Wav-He, S-O-N, even as a basic chronograph, has the power to make an independent sweep of the sun, S-U-N, to then become the second hand. That would then enable the son, S-O-N, to call to his father, Ab, Yod-He-Wav-He, who art in heaven, from the surface of this planet called the ground, G-R-O-U-N-D, to stop this planet from revolving and rotating around the sun, S-U-N, for 24 hours. And then later, after 24 hours, ask the father of Yod-He-Wav-He to start the motor of this planet up again, in order for his chrono, C-H-R-O-N-O, that relates to time, to return back to zero by a successive pressure of the stem, S-T-E-M, of his watch, which is the same as the stem of Jesse.
Woo!
Praise the
Lord.
Yeah.
He is risen.
That's right.
He is risen.
Now, to prove this, turn to the book called Joshua chapter 10 and read begin at verse 8. Joshua chapter 10, I'm going to prove it. And how this happened. Read begin at verse 8. Joshua chapter 10.
And Yod-He-Wav-He said unto Joshua,
What?
Fear them not,
Right.
for I have delivered them into thy hand.
Stop. Hold it. Say that again. Deliver them into what?
Thine hand.
Stop. Now, this hand is the chronograph. And you know it as two hands that are attached to a clock that tell time, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. As in the long hand, which is called the minute hand, that represents the bigger of the two hands. And the longer or bigger of the two hands is symbolized as Yod-He-Wav-He. Why? Because he has more patience and is more merciful than his son. Right? And the hour hand of your clocks, you know, is symbolic for the son of Yod-He-Wav-He. He is the shorter of the two. Now, the shorter hand also indicates that the son is shorter in mercy and is less patient than the father. Needless to say, but I must. This particular chronograph is unlike most clocks that have three hands. You know, most clocks have three hands, in which a longer hand is added with the existing two that goes around much faster than the original two, right? Why? Because that longer hand that you think is the second hand that counts seconds by 60 per minute is known as the fifth angel of the chrono. Excuse me?
Y'all catch funny.
I repeat. The longer hand that you think is the second hand of a clock that goes around counts 60 seconds per minute is known as the fifth angel of the chrono. The coronal sphere.
Mm.
The coronal sphere of the G Lodge.
Praise you.
That's it.
The coronal sphere of the G Lodge, and this G is for G-O, that represents the God, G-O-D of the Central Lodge, who's known as Yahweh Wafe. And many of my people still call him Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Boy, raise up. Raise up on this.
But he's Yahweh Wafe.
That's right.
The G of the G-O, God, G-O-D, and geography, and geometry, geography and geometry, because you created the world, the earth, geography. Also geometry of arithmetic and mathematics,
Right.
to count the seconds,
Geometric.
geometric. Meanwhile, the fifth angel of the coronal sphere of the G Lodge is also known as 5G.
Oh, got him.
5G.
Got him.
And that will also explain why every second during this plague of this global pandemic, every second, someone in this planet during these last 5 days of these 195 worlds are attacked by the 5G plague. Even as many are killed every second.
Praise
They are attacked.
Kill him. Get him, Bob. Get him.
And you want to know why they named it the coronavirus or the COVID-19?
There it is.
Code word.
Or do you even know, or do you not know what the COVID-19 stands for? Some do not know.
Say it on.
Well, according to them, the COVID-19 stands for, the CO stands for corona. That's a lie. But at the same time, they spell it with a C, but it's spelled with a K because I am corona.
Go on,
Right.
look at y'all way. We know it.
The VI stands for virus. And the D stands for disease. And finally, the numeric 19 is symbolic for the 19 years that sits between Mount Ab and myself as we came out the womb. Though they say it indicates when this disease was originally introduced as as I quote, the 2019 novel coronavirus, end quote. Or the quote, 2019-NCOV, end quote. You lying bastard, you. I mean, what a wicked government this is.
Indelibly.
And our people rather follow this government. They rather follow them. We still in read on. Go back to Joshua chapter 10. And my op taking over. And complete reading verse 8, because I stopped you, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Read on. Read the rest of verse 8 where there shall
not a man of them stand before thee.
read on. Read verse 9.
Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly, and went up from Gilgal all night.
Right.
And Yod-Heh-Wav discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon.
Keep reading.
And chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Azekah, and unto Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that Yod-Heh-Wav cast down great stones from heaven.
They call it hail.
Upon them unto Azekah, and they died.
That means that hail must have been mighty big for them to fall on their heads and kill them. Could you imagine at that speed a rock falling from heaven and hit you in the head? And take your head off. Read on. I'm not making it up. And they died. And they were what?
And they were more was died with hailstones.
I told you it was right there. And then what?
Then they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword.
Right. Read on, verse 12.
Then spake Joshua to Yod-Heh-Wav in the day when Yod-Heh-Wav delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel.
Then spake Joshua to Yod-Heh-Wav. Spake means face to face.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
That means Joshua was right there with Yod-Heh-Wav side by side.
Right there.
Right there. Do you hear you see what's going on? Right?
Yes, sir.
And he said, and I read on, and he said, in the sight of Israel, what?
Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon.
That's power.
Woo.
And who else?
And thou moon in the valley of Aj-Olom.
Good gracious. Now, you know who this was. This was truly Mem who was standing there and said that. That's why they put it in verse 13. Read verse 13.
And the sun stood still.
Yes.
And the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies.
Right.
Is not this written in the book of Yasher?
So what?
So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day.
Good. Read. And what happened? That means it was the next day, which is none or noon. That's why they got verse 14 there that says what? Read verse 14, the noon.
And there was no day like that before it or after it, that Yod-Heh-Wah-Veh hearkened unto the voice of a man.
Right.
Oh.
Why?
For Yod-Heh-Wah-Veh fought for Israel.
A man of war.
There it is. Praise.
And you want to know if we're following a man? You want to know if we're following? Yes, we're following a man of war.
That's right.
And Yod-Heh-Wah-Veh is his name.
That's right.
You should be wondering, where's the book of Yasher? Where'd that come from? No such name.
Wow.
Why? There's no J.
Ain't
No J.
It's the same book called Joshua. Joshua. They tried to trick you. See, with Shin, but it's truly with sin, not Shin. And the Resh, they created the R of the dry, D-R-Y. In other words, this so-called book of Yashir was written by the son of Yod-Heh-Wah-Veh.
Wow.
Which means, here's what it means. It means the book of the upright man. Or the book of the just man, J-U-S-T, that they claim is a non-colonial or canonical book that's only mentioned in the Hebrew Bible. That's what they claim. And why did they do that? You know why they did it? Why did they do that? To hide the true Christ in his name, J-U-S-T. Why you think they cut off Yahweh off of Micah?
Yes.
Why you think they stopped it from being called Micah Yahweh? And now we read in Revelation earlier, Mikael,
Yes.
which is the same Michael or Mikael of Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, who should stand up during the day. The same time the great dragon's here.
Yes, sir.
But they cut off the true day. They don't want Judah to know. Why? Especially since Judah was taken captive, remember, and brought into bondage as slavery. They want you to know, once you get stuck, I'm not going to show that picture again because I haven't eaten yet myself. In so much until when they translated the original Hebrew manuscript, which is from right to left, Smek, he's like Smek Fe Resh, Smek Fe Resh, Hey You Sin Resh. That created what is known as Sefer Hayasar. Sefer Hayasar. Hayasar. Sefer Hayasar. You roll your R like the Spanish do. I repeat, Sefer Hayasar. That's where they get. They somehow they got Yasser out of that. They made that. They turned it to Yasher that you read in that verse, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, verse 13. 13. See, it's all to come together with 13 with Mel.
Yeah.
Right, 13. And that's prophetical. It prophetically means, I'm quoting, it prophetically means, I quote, the great prince, end quote.
Right.
Wow.
That's what it means. What they did was they redacted the original translation to then become, quote, the book of the just man, end quote. That later became the traditional Greek and Latin translation, while the translated form of Yasher, Jasher that you read, was later printed in English with a Y. in the King James Version Holy Bible of 1611 when it first was published. There was no J. So why would it later be changed to Joshua? Got that?
Yes, sir.
It's the same one who said, "Sun, be still." Now let's show you the stem. See, every watch has a stem of its chronograph. Turn to Isaiah chapter 11.
Wow.
You know, 11. Oh, chapter 11. How about that? Chapter 11, you know, like this government is now in the situation to file for chapter 11.
You framed them.
New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ,
You framed them.
the stocks, the stocks market's crashing.
Crash.
A Great Depression. In fact, they said yesterday this is the greatest depression, the greatest in their history, the greatest crash. They confessed. I saw it while I was watching CNN. It was one of those I was watching, NBC or something. Read verse 1, Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And before you do, let me say this now. You got to hear this.
Yes, sir.
Don't listen to me. Remember, you got to hear this. Your God, your never went over this when he was here with us in the flesh. He did not go over this. And I am about to reveal it tonight. I just did. I gave you some of it already.
Yes, you did.
Yes, sir.
The chronograph
Chronograph.
Stem.
of the watch. And every watch has a stem. Read verse 1, please.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse,
And what else?
and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Praise the Lord. Praise.
Praise you, the Father.
Hear this now.
Right.
That's right.
This verse
You heard it.
is the only verse in the entire King James Version of the Bible where this word stem, STEM, is found. The only place.
Wow.
Wow. Look at how it's spelled in English from left to right. STEM. Right? Go backward. It's all cryptic.
Right.
When you go backward with METS, it's telling you that Mem from the east is the sun. It was preserved today to be used by the three Hebrew symbols that created the trunk of a tree, the root of the tree, the root and the offspring of David.
Wait. Goodness.
That's why you have Jesse here. It was then placed in Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. Separately, Gimel, Zion, and Ayin separately. But together they create the Hebrew word known as Gizah. Gizah. Reference Strong's H1503. In the year 1503, a Yehudite was sold to Mexicans in the west coast of the United States, from California down to Mexico by a Mexican family.
First slave.
In 1503, the first slave.
The true first slave.
The true first slave.
Over here.
You can look this up if you like. I challenge you. And right now, tonight, I am using the Resh and the Zion, the R and the Z. Why? Because I have met my the God of the Hebrews.
Yes, indeed.
Yahweh,
Yes.
again.
Cast. Bones are cast down.
Did you hear it?
Let him again.
I said, I have met with my God. I met him again. My God of the Hebrews. Yahweh. Again.
Wow.
That means that's more than once throughout the history of this world. In fact, a total of 7 times
7.
after the garden.
Yes.
And during that time also was when Yesse was here. Yesse.
Yes.
We got Jesse,
Yes. Yes.
who's the art of David.
Right.
Yeah.
And each time I met man Yodewave, he left one of his powerful spirits upon my soul. 7 times.
7.
And because I met him more than once, then that makes this MET, 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 plural.
Mets.
as in Mets. M-E-T-S. Now write down M-E-T-S backward and meet the stem of Jesse.
Jesse. There he is.
Wow.
There he is. What can you
Stem.
say? Can't do nothing with that.
Now read verse 2 and let's see who these 7 spirits, what they are, that mine are placed upon my soul. And you have to admit it. Read verse 2 and see verses 2 and 3 are going to reveal those spirits, 7.
And the spirit of Yodewavhe shall rest upon him.
That's one. That's the first one. The spirit of Yodewavhe. And that's what baby become who is like Yodewavhe. That's one. Read the next one.
The spirit of wisdom and understanding.
Wait, that's 2 and 3. Go ahead.
The spirit of counsel and might.
4 and 5.
The spirit of knowledge and
6.
of the fear of the Lord. Yodewavhe.
7. That's all 7 in one verse.
Oh.
Read verse 3.
And shall make him of quick understanding.
See, that's repeated from verse 2. That's quick comprehension. That means I would comprehend something quick and even understand it quicker. See, I would understand quicker than comprehend it because that would enable me to warn you not to stand in Satan.
Big tree.
Quick.
Big
Do
tree.
not stand under Satan the devil. That's what understand means.
God.
It's right there.
Right there.
Backward.
Understand.
Stand under Satan the
There
devil.
it is.
That's right.
Understand.
There it is.
And what else? And what else?
In the fear of the Lord Yodewavhe.
Right. And he shall what?
He shall not judge after the sight of his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
But how will it be judged?
But with righteousness
Right.
shall he judge the poor.
Right. Under the R. See, that's the R. I'm using R and Zion tonight. And what else?
And reprove with equity for the meek of the earth.
Read all the way to verse 6.
And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth.
You got that right.
And with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked.
Yes.
And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins.
Yes.
And faithfulness the girdle of his reign.
Yes.
The wolf also shall dwell with the
And
lamb.
that's happening today, right now. In the same country. The same land.
And the leopard shall lie down with the kid.
That is those leopard-minded, skin different complexion people. Even spiritually in their mind. Will lie down with the goats, the kids. And what?
And the calf and the young lion.
That's Italy. That's where Italy is hidden.
Like
In
that.
Italy, italicized.
There it is.
And the what?
And the fatling together.
Yes, those who are full of knowledge. Those will be full of knowledge. That's later on in the same chapter.
Yes.
And what else?
And a little child shall lead them.
Right. Just like being taught by who? His Got that?
Same, my Lord.
Don't forget, this started way back with both the father Ab and his son, Yudhawafe and his son, being identified as two beings that are symbolized in human form. And both the father Ab and his son were celestially chronographed by the numerics 2 and 7 separately. Remember, it's chronographed in past tense. Why? Because both of them have now returned again these last days in human form on this planet to be with our children,
Yes, sir.
whom we made in our own image. Reference Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Our own image. And we did so by the power of Yod, Beth, and Zion. I repeat, ye were created in our own image by the power of Yod, Beth, and Zion. Even Beth. And those three creates 0 plus 2 equals 1. Do the math. You didn't hear that.
Yeah. 0 plus 2 equals 1.
I said Yod, Beth, and Zion creates 0 plus 2 equals 1 times 3 equals the 7, which is the Zion, Z-A-Y-I-N of Gimel, and Ayin
Yes.
of the Geza, times the chronograph that creates the instruments for the recording of the chronos, Chronos of Greek mythology, that equals 7. I know I have to repeat that, although I do.
Yeah, you probably better.
Just 3 more times.
Probably better repeat that one. What is going on?
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
You were created in our own image. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. When with both of us, it was only us two. Only us two. He said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So we did. Ye. And when we did so by the power of Yod, his first character. Beth and Bath as the sons of and daughters of, and Zion as 7. And that created 0 plus 2 equals 1, times 3 equals the 7, which is the Zion, Z-A-Y-I-N of Gimel, and Ayin of the Gizah, times the chronograph that creates the instruments for the recording of the chronos, Chronos of Greek mythology, that equals 7, as in the 7 spirits of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, reference Isaiah chapter 11 that just read.
Man.
Now, this 2 with the 7, or by the 2 and 7 juxtaposed together side by side, brought us to and forth out of the womb on the 27th day of our months. That's why it's 27. October 27, September 27. You got it? Okay. Now, to make a 2-digit numeric known as 27. Why? Because he placed me with the great dragon.
Yeah.
Even as the 45th president of the United States of America, that is equivalent to the 2-7 backwards, which is 72. As in 1972, which was the year I graduated from high school. And, or in reverse, as 72. And, or by 20 and 7th. That means that from 1972 to 2017, when he was inaugurated, is 45 years to become the 45th president. Not from the first president of Washington, but by the 45 of the years between 1972 of my chronos to the year he was inaugurated during this generation. This generation shall not pass in all these things be fulfilled. Now turn to Genesis chapter 8 and let's prove it.
What?
Genesis chapter 8.
Turn the page.
Let's prove it.
Got it.
I'm trying to move.
Someone read that, please, so you can see where you are now as it was in the days of Noah. And why I left record of that in Matthew chapter 24 and Luke chapter 3. Someone read, begin at verse 13. Genesis chapter 8, verse 13. So you're going to get the 20 and 7th.
Quote.
And it came to pass in the 600, and it came to pass in the 601 year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, and the face of the ground was dry.
Hold it now. It was dry. Because last week I didn't go over the completeness of the mystery of the revelation of sun dry. Sun dry times. Remember? What is sun dry? Remember, there are 196 worlds
You framed them all.
that were geographically registered with the World Census Ometer. And every one of them were made by Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and the God of the Hebrews. And every one of those worlds are sitting in their own frames. Remember?
You framed them.
That's right.
And then I had you to turn to Hebrews chapter 1 and read verse 1, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to quote it. Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past of the chronograph unto the fathers by the prophets and by chronograph even with his son. And we went over that. I didn't go with chronograph and watch sundry times.
Oh, wow.
Right? I only went over what the Greeks led you to believe.
Right.
And we broke it down. And that was by replacing the R with an A. Remember?
Make it wet.
But they created a word known as palumagros. Remember? Palumagros. Which means by many portions, by many times, and in many ways, even by the stem of Jesse, the stem times, chronograph. And then we reveal how those thieves stole in the Middle Ages the R and hid it. I'm bringing it back to R fresh today, these days. They hid it, translated it, and replaced it with an A and kept it Sunday. Remember I mentioned they made the dry wet? Remember? I said they made the dry wet. Well, tonight I'm going to make the wet dry.
The dirt.
The dirt, yes. Why? And I'm going to do it by many portions of worship, by many times of the chronograph.
Goodness gracious. Got him.
As I even warned you a few weeks ago that I'm about to release the fourth angel to pour out his vial upon the earth. I mean, upon the sun, right? Upon the sun. So how else would you think it's going to happen when I even mentioned to you that my arm is going to drive this motor of the earth closer to the sun 1 mile? I have the power. I had to share this with you tonight so you can see as I ask him to do it, he's going to do it. If I can make the earth stop, then I can also drive the planet 1 mile closer to the sun to burn up these devils and these wicked niggas. You watch what I tell you as I release this fourth angel, pour out his vial upon the sun. It is going to be a record-breaking temperatures all over this planet beginning June 2020. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. You know, you see when I go outside. All I have to do is wave my hands or put my finger over my light and call them, and they come, and you see them coming around. You see that with your own eyes. I ain't got to try to convince nobody online. I have witnesses.
I bear witness.
Bear witness.
And just how I can call them, I call on my arm. But you see the sun back of me.
Right it back. Right when you said it.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I can do that of various kinds in various different manners. Now go back to Isaiah chapter 14. All right, go back to Isaiah chapter 14. For a minute. And read verse 1. Go just for a minute. Read verse 1.
For Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh will have mercy on Yaakov, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
What?
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Yaakov.
Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captive.
You see what's going to happen? This is prophetical. I pray that you can see what's. I pray you see what's happening.
Yes, sir.
You see what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read on.
Whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Now pause there a minute, because I had to take you there. I put a marker there before I had you to read verse 14 of Genesis chapter 8. Who had that? Who was reading that? Okay, now go. You put. I should have told you to put a marker there, because now I would like for you to read verse 14. See, 13 is mem, right? Of the 8. Chapter 8. Remember 8?
Infinity.
Infinity. The 2 zeros, the 00, the Father and the Son. Right? And you read verse 13 that gave you the 601st year, which is like 6,000 years. And the ground was dry, right? Now read verse 14. Wait. What's today? Again, you remember?
Second day of the seventh, second month of the 7th day.
Right. Right. Now I had you to, the reason why I had you to do that, and I warned you about what's coming. Read verse 14.
And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry.
Stop. I repeat. This is as it was in the days of Noah. You know that's in Matthew. Maybe you should read that. You read it already?
Yes, sir.
As it was in the days of Noah?
So shall it be the days of the Son of Man.
This is the 7th day of the second month. This verse 14 of Genesis chapter 8 is telling you that in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. The 7th and 20th day is the same as 27.
Yes, sir.
You got it? So in 20 more days, you can look for something to happen on this planet. That's going to be related to dry. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
I pray. That's why I'm telling those who are with me, make sure you continue to get the blessing when you leave and be obedient when you go out. This land is also going to be full of blood before then. That means for the next 20 days, this planet's going to be full of blood. Do you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Will you stop that? And then after that, it's going to be dry. Something's going to be dry. You in Isaiah 14, right?
Yes, sir.
Where did you stop at?
Verse 3.
Read verse 3 again.
And it shall come to pass in the day that Yod-Heh-Wav shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Badiland.
Oh, now you know who that is. We read that first as we started tonight. We began. I introduced him to some and reminded others who Lucifer is.
Yes, sir.
And why I said he's the king of Babylon, so you can know now what you're reading. I had to take you to that precept, so when we come back here, you'll know what you're reading.
Yes, sir.
And who you are reading of.
Yes,
now, read on.
And say, how have the oppressor seized, the golden city seized? Yod-Heh-Wav have broken the staff of the wicked.
Yes.
And the scepter of the rulers.
Yes, read on.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hithereth.
Read on. Wow.
The whole earth is at rest.
How much is it?
The whole earth
is at what?
At rest.
And
is quiet. They break forth into singing.
That's what this thing. Read verse 8.
Yeah. The fir trees rejoice at thee.
You know who the fir trees are?
We are.
Read on.
And the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us.
But look who it is in verse 9.
Hell from beneath.
Look at hell in the Bible. From beneath in this chapter. From beneath is moved what?
Is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Yes. What else?
It stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
And then what they say?
All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Excuse me, yeah. That's what they would like for us to say.
Yes, sir.
Not going to happen. Read verse 11.
Thy prop is brought down to the grave,
Uh-huh.
and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
That's going to happen. Because it's going to affect a certain particular people who are related to verse 12.
Yes, sir.
You want to know how they're going to be cast out? Read verse 12 again. We read it earlier. Read it again.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Verse 13.
For thou hast said in thy heart,
What he wants to do?
I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars.
He wants to be God. That's why he say he is the chosen one.
And
that's why he wanted to turn this government into a dictatorship. And what else?
I will sit also upon the mounts of the congregation.
In his mind, he wants to be a king. Not president, king of the earth, of the planet. Read on.
And the sides of the north.
See? Read on.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
There it is, see? You build a space force, huh?
Yeah, right.
Read verse 15.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
That's what you think, Trump. You better read verse 15.
To the sides of the pit.
You better read verse 15. And read verse 16.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee.
And do what?
And consider thee, saying,
what?
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? That did shake kingdoms?
Verse 17.
That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof.
Praise
that
the Lord.
opened not the house of his prisoners.
Praise the Lord.
Praise your name.
Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
They believe the first sign. As we close, please turn to Exodus chapter 4 as we close. Because they don't believe me. You have told our people and you've testified to them.
Yes, sir.
Who we are, who our art is, that you see. You testified of him.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
Right? Yes. And he's been with us in the flesh for 72 years. That's a 72 again.
Yes, sir.
And you also testified of me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they ridicule you. And they won't believe. We tell them to come, they don't believe. They don't believe Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, but they're going to be subjected to it because it's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Two parts of all the world, all the land shall be cut off and die. But the third shall be left. But this as it was back then, the days of Egypt. They didn't believe Moshe. Pharaoh didn't even believe Moshe.
No,
It's like
dude.
Trump is not believing me today. He knows who I am, but he's not believing me. He thinks he's going to go on the roof forever. So start over. I want you to read from verse 1 to 8. Actually, to verse 9. Read verse 1 through 9 of Exodus chapter 4. And this is a replica of what's happening right now today.
Yes, sir.
Quote, and Moshe answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yodewabhe have not appeared unto thee.
Good gracious. Verse 2. Are you seeing this?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And Yodewabhe said unto him,
What?
what is that in thy hand?
Uh-huh.
And he said, a rod.
Now I am the rod today.
Yes.
Right.
You just read of that rod in Isaiah chapter 11.
Exactly.
Read on.
And he said, cast it on the ground.
And that's what that said. Now what? I'm on the ground.
Yes.
And what?
And he cast it on the ground.
And it became what?
And it became a serpent.
A serpent-minded person, man.
Right.
I mean, just mentally and spiritually dead, being raised by the devil in his country and under a white false god, became like a serpent. Serpent-minded. And then what happened?
And Moshe fled from before it.
Yes. Ran, scared of him. And read verse 4.
And Yodewape said unto Moshe,
What?
put forth thine hand,
Thy hand
and take it by the tail.
from the chronograph.
There it is. Wow.
Praise Yodewape.
The hand. And do what? And do what?
And take it by the tail.
That's one of the hands. And take it by the tail.
And he put forth his hand, and caught it,
And what happened?
and it became a rod in his hand.
That's exactly what's going on right now. Even the rod of time.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The last days.
Yes.
Yes.
And read verse 5.
That they may believe that Yodewape of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Read verse 6.
And Yodewape said furthermore unto him,
Do what?
put now thine hand into thy bosom.
In the bosom
There it
is
is.
the paps
There it is.
that got to feed the babies.
Mm.
Now we're in Revelation chapter 1.
Mm.
Good about the paps with the golden girdle.
Yes, sir.
And what?
And he put his hand into his bosom.
And what happened?
And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
White-minded. White-minded.
Got him.
Learning. Here we go again. Learning from the
Got
white
him.
people. White education. White culture. Right? Thinking white is supreme.
Yes.
As we read in Deuteronomy chapter 28. They should be the head, you should be the tail. They go up very high, you come down very low. White-minded. However, there is hope. Read verse 7, sorry.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again.
Again, today, the last time. That what?
And he put his hand into his bosom again.
Again. And then what?
And plucked it out of his bosom.
And what?
And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Right. Resurrected. Raised back to Hebrew.
Praise
You're raised
the
right
Lord.
back. That's what's happened to ye too.
Yes, sir.
Raised back into it.
Read verse 8. Because here's the belief. Your God is so powerful that he came to a whole nation of his children that are black, and were sleeping in the dust of the earth. Dead to knowledge of the history, culture, language, land, their names. Didn't know who they were. Thought they were niggers, colored, coons, African Americans, Afro Americans, black. Had no idea who they were. All right?
Right.
So look what happened. Read verse 8.
And it shall come to pass,
What?
if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
Now read, praise your wife.
Praise
Praise
God.
Now read verse 9, which is complete.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these two
And
signs.
that's two signs. That's all who was here. And now look, he left his Christ here.
Yeah.
And they don't believe. Read the rest of that.
Neither hearken unto thy voice,
Uh-huh.
that thou shalt take of the water of the river
Uh-huh.
and pour it upon the dry land.
As I did last week.
Yes, sir.
As I take Mem now and I'm pouring Mem all over this planet. The God of water. And what else? Read the last.
And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood
I told
upon
you.
the dry
I
land.
told you. That blood is about to come and pursue this earth tonight.
Praise you.
The waters shall become blood upon the dry land. Praise the warfare.
Praise the Lord.
There's nothing that you can do except accept it. It's going to happen.
Deal with it.
Those who come and those who accept Yahweh as their God and return back to their God shall live.
Yes.
They're going to come through the fire. They will be refined as gold is refined and tried as silver is tried.
Yes, sir.
But they won't come. They're not going to come.
No.
Those who have chosen are going to come. We know that there are a few of them who are in communication with us now that are coming.
Right.
Wait.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
the Lord.
We're going to certainly say Todah and thank those who joined us tonight. We pray that you are accepting your God and accepting your culture that you are as you were from the beginning, before the beginning. And that you accept your warfare as your God and return to your God, your warfare. Before it's too late, hurry. The kingdom of your warfare is at hand, that you learn some more of the hand tonight. Right? If it is my God's will, we'll be here again next Wednesday night. That's his will. If it's his will, not my will. His will. If it's my will, remember, I'm the shorthand. I don't have patience. Nor the mercy that he has. Had it been for me, I wouldn't be on tonight. He's on tonight. He said to show you these things. And I'm nothing less than obedient.
Yes, sir.
Even from the beginning.
I've been witness.
Praise you to offer.
Praise.
So again, Todah for coming. And we're going to go briefly to our editorial, our teleconference line. That number is 831 for those who care to join us. 831-221-6177. Again, 831-221-6177. We're also going to take this moment to thank those who sent us donations and offerings to help us with housing. We have one brother in particular. I have to call his name, the Sem DeVere. This is not his first time he's sending donations and offerings, and he is helping us. It helps us because we're in the process of trying to get 2 more apartments, right? 2 more apartments.
Yes, sir.
We called that today, one today. We passed by one today, and we're in the process of being that close to moving to another one. So we want to thank and say Todah to the Stem Of Yesse for that. If you care to send donations, then you can write to us at this address, P.O. Box. Write to the Social Lodge of Miami, P.O. Box 472072 through the 72, Miami of Florida 33247. Again, write to the Social Lodge of Miami, P.O. Box 472072, Miami of Florida 33247. If you care to send a donation, or even if you have a question you'd like to ask, or testimony you'd like to share, to do so. We had someone who sent a letter. I don't know why. He showed us a name change that he did in Michigan. He changed only the last name to YHWH. He kept the first names and had it done legally. But that's prophecy. It says in Isaiah that some would change his name to Jacob and then surname himself Israel.
Yes.
It's prophecy. You something else I'm supposed to remind about?
Oh, if they're sending a money order to not fill it out to the
Todah.
social lodge.
If you're going to send money orders as a donation or offering, do not fill in the blank that says pay to the order of. Do not put the Social Lodge of Miami, but leave it blank so that we'll be able to cash the money order in one of our executives' names or their account. That way we can put it into the account and use it for our housing purposes. Praise the Lord. So Todah for that. Again, we're going to go into our editorial. We're going to unmute the lines. And we say shalom to those of my people only, of Yehuda, of Israel, who is on Facebook, live stream. We say shalom alaikum. And lalato to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Praise everyone.
Praise
everyone.
And we also say to those on YouTube, shalom alaikum. Praise the Lord.